trip up north of Santa Fe here to a place called Tesuque. Really beautiful winding road there, and just thought for my first vlog might enjoy it. I hope the sound comes out. This is the first time I've used this mic and this setup inside this helmet, and I don't know what to expect. So anyway, this story begins when I was 14 years old. I bought a motocross bike, Husqvarna 250, and I used to enter into state races here in New Mexico. And I wasn't a great driver, but I was okay. You know, I placed one time, I think third in a state race, and you know, I survived those years pretty well. When you're young, you know, you hit the ground, your bones don't break as easily as when you're older. And so then later, when I was my 20s, I ended up buying a Honda 1000 four-cylinder street bike. And I was quite terrified to ride on the streets. I have a friend who's, I believe he was a professional motocross racer in France. And the same with him. He said he's like terrified to ride on the streets. I don't think he has yet in America. I'm trying to get him to come with me riding. But yeah, so I ended up having a pretty bad accident. I went head on into the side of a Volkswagen van going about 30 miles an hour. Broke my helmet in two and cracked my shoulder blade, which I discovered was the strongest bone in your body, and dislocated my arm. And I was, in a lot of pain for a few months, and recovered. But I think I was traumatized about ever getting up back on a motorcycle again, and I never did up until recently. Every time I go by a motorcycle shop, I'd want to stop and go take a look, but I told myself no. And plus I had a son, and I didn't want to get him hooked on motorcycles, which of course, you know, is a dangerous thing when you're a young kid, I think. So anyway, fast forward to today, my brother, who has had some health problems, moved in with us, and along came his 2008 Fat Boy. He can't ride anymore, so, you know, it's basically at our house. And the day it came, I thought, well, let me just take it for a spin. It's been a long time, and I was kind of terrified to get on a Harley from a smaller Japanese bike. But I managed, took it for a spin around the block a few times, and I was hooked. This is fun. My wife Ganya came home, and I said, hey, you want to go for a ride? She said, yeah, because she was brought up on motorcycles living in Thailand. Everybody has a scooter, and she used to drive a scooter, and so it was easy for her. And I took it around the block a few times, and I'm like, man, this is fun. And she had a blast. And long story short, I went in to buy a new battery for the bike, and ended up walking out of Harley with a new 2020 Heritage. Kind of an impulse buy. So that's where it stands today. I've got basically my brother, I came home and my brother said, "Why'd you buy a new bike? I would have given you. I'm going to give you mine." You know, and I'm like, "Well, now you tell me." You know. But you know, one cannot have. You know, I'm a guitar maker by trade, and all guitar players know you can never have just one guitar, and it's getting that way with motorcycles. My son just bought a really nice 2012 classic Sportster, which I really like. Those things are fun. But anyway, that's my history, and now we are in a village called Tesuque, which is just north of Santa Fe. And I always love to come here and drive down these roads. They're kind of a nice little low traffic, twisty, you know, slow roads. A lot of wealthy people live here in Tesuque, and a lot of movie stars, I think, and a lot of deer out here too. I almost hit one the other night. But this is a really nice ride, and I really like it. It's therapy. And on the other side is a nice restaurant we always go to. Sit outside, and it's really nice. But what I'd like to do, and this may be a two-part video, is take the high road to Taos, which is just gorgeous, so much fun. And I don't know, I'll try to do that today. I woke up this morning, I was going to get in the shop and work, and I made a joke to my brother. I said, "I'd rather be out riding today." And he goes, "Well, it's Sunday. Take a day off. Go for a ride." I said, "You know, that's a good idea." So here I am. I'm not, you know, a motorcycle expert. I'm becoming one. You know, it's my new hobby, and I'm learning a lot about motorcycles from the day, you know, 30 years ago, and it's really fun. But I think I lucked out, you know. I didn't know anything, and I walked into the Harley dealership, and my wife, Ganya, was like all in on getting a new bike, and I was kind of shocked, you know. And she comes home every day at 5 o'clock and wants to go riding for 2 hours, you know. So that's kind of cool. I want to get her own bike, and you know, because she's driven scooters in Thailand, but she gets on the Harley and she just feels like it's too big. Maybe it is. So I want to get her a Sportster, or even a Honda, you know, like a 750 Honda or something like that, you know, something small. But she doesn't want it. She just is content to sit on the back of the bike and have me drive around, which you could never get me on the back of a motorcycle. I think it's the most boring thing you could do, you know. But she loves it. Anyway, she was all for it. So she kind of liked this black Heritage, and I thought the black ones were kind of just, I don't know, nondescript, all blacked out, you know. They say with the sales with Harleys, you know, the older guys like the chrome, and the young guys like the blacked out look. I don't know anybody who doesn't like chrome on anything, but I looked at this bike and I liked the color, and I liked it. It was all chromed out, and it was just like a Rolex watch, just kind of this beautiful metallic piece of perfection, And, I later that day I walked out with a new bike. And I think I made a good decision. I at first I really like the Fat Boys, and I like that look. I like the cruiser look. I didn't like the bagger look. And when I bought the Heritage, I immediately said, "Hey man, can I take off the bags and the windshield and stuff, and then it'll just look like a what do you call them? Those soft tail lowriders, or I forget the other name. Anyway, I quickly found out that going around town, it's nice to have some bags when you go grocery shopping, and when you're on the highway, it's nice to have a windshield. And every time I go into Harley now, they want me to take out one of these road glides or street glides with the fairing and everything. And I'm curious to try one, and I probably will at some point. They keep saying, "Oh, you don't have to have someone go with you. Just come and get one and take it out." They're just trying to sell me another bike. And I was talking to some of my friends who have BMWs and stuff with fairings, and they complain, in the summertime it's too hot.